So my best friend here is a fighter. And not just because he was barefoot in skills and spiritual growth-based color belts, waxing on and waxing off, before Netflix made it Cobra cool. Thankfully, I live in a house full of females. My mom woke me up my entire childhood. So if a guy tries to wake me up, I innately respond like that strange man just broke into my home and told me he's robbing the joint. Cue my karate belted buddy, trying to wake me up after a New Year's night in Vegas. I literally bounced his Neo butt off the bed into the wall like I was Agent Smith. You call your sensei after this, ask him what belt I should get for that sleep defense. I also learned he can't hold his liquor. He had one Fat Tuesday necklace drink that he nursed the entire night and never finished, but yet was still smashed somehow the whole time. He told me he saw Britney Spears and Jason Alexander in between Mardi Gras on the Strip. He probably blurry-eyed some impressionists. I'm just bummed he didn't get photos with these celebrities. I really want to know who he thought was the guy who played the villain in Jim Carrey's The Mask. Guaranteed it was just some guy in green face paint, right? Or his birthday party. BJ's, dinner. We wanted to get him drunk, but we started too strong. We did our traditional birthday stoplight with a brake pedal, which is 4 shots. Then he was poured 1 beer from a shared pitcher. Then he received a zombie mixed drink, back to back to back. He got up to pee, threw up instead. Came back completely sober. The liquor hadn't even hit his system yet. He's like, "What are we drinking next, boys?" Nothing here. Like, this just turned into a store-bought drinks kind of night. So, how come I can drink over 24 beers in one day to make sure his bachelor party Costco run wasn't a waste? I didn't get sick in the mountains. I knew my way back to the cabin in the dark. And I broke my buddy's ankles on the ice. Or my birthday party. I had over 13 shots in the first hour, then proceeded to beat my friends at basketball while talking relevant trash before I was asked to leave. And not because I was still beating sober people at racing, which is true. I was asked to leave because I used to hurdle. Someone dared me to hurdle a table, which I did. I mean, in my defense, I was drunk, and he triple dog dared me, right? Unfortunately, neither of us noticed what was on the other side of that table I was about to hurdle. I'll just leave it at that. But I'm still running off factory parts, right? This guy had to go through years of double kidney failure before a huge donation from his little sister blessed these two with a beautiful daughter and him with Benjamin Button's bladder control. Yeah. And he's a huge Superman fan. Hashtag Superman strong. Yeah. As a Batman fan, I was thrilled when he brought me to the premiere of Man of Steel 2. Oh wait, scrap that. Turns out, Superman can single-handedly lift the Empire State Building, but he can't carry a domestic box office alone. So they went with Batman versus Superman. Okay, this Superman movie starts with Batman's childhood origin story. Then Superman is painted as a villain to Bruce Wayne, Metropolis, and essentially everyone not named Lois or Martha. Then Superman stops Batman from keeping kryptonite out of Lex Luthor's hands just so he can lose a one-liner pissing contest with Batman. Then Superman calls for his mom to avoid a Batman beatdown. Then Superman dies. Are you sure that wasn't a Batman movie? Like, is it a bird? Is it a plane? Whatever it is, I'm not clapping when it lands or when a Superman movie ends. But I clapped for that 2016 green glowing gem. like the flap of bat wings swirling in a cave. And yes, that's another scene from that Superman movie. My buddy served in the Army. Thank you for your service. He's a great organizer. We call him our alpha team leader. It's true. He's a good listener. He'd do anything for a friend. Except when the bill comes. Mediocre tipper. Keep in mind, I was working at Ruby's at this time. We decided to all eat in my diner, and he tries to short a server I work with. We say, you need to put some more dollars in there. He goes, but $1's 100 pennies. What? Like, who sees the world in pennies? It's time to round up, right? I have a work teammate that keeps an Advil bottle of pennies in his desk drawer. First time I saw it, I thought of like a confused leprechaun's treasure. Like he opens the drawer, and when the sunlight hits those pennies just right, he thinks, I'm sitting on a gold mine. You two should talk pennies sometime. Yeah. So here's a thought. When did Indeed become work Tinder? Like the casual dating app. You hire someone off their site, and Indeed, they show up for day one. But before that day is over, they quit. Because they said we weren't the right fit for them. Like they were just swiping left on us. The first half of their first day is just HR stuff. So you're telling me within less than half a day, you found enough brand new information that you couldn't have even guessed about us that made you go, whoa, that's where I draw the line. I'm out of here. No way. What that means is they were already on the fence before they walked in the door. It's time to fix your algorithm, Indeed. We're not looking for work flings. We're looking for commitment. I'm congratulating my coworker on his performance as my boss walks up. And she sticks up her hand, as one normally does when a high five is in order. Now, I'm just congratulating him, so I don't know, she could be congratulating me on my coaching or him on his performance. Either way, I'm into it, so I go for it. Turns out she's still a handshaker. She was actually just raising her hand to get my attention politely without interrupting our conversation, which she hadn't heard. So as far as she knew, there's no celebration we're going out of here, right? It's just a normal, everyday, hi, how are you? And then I come in hot with the high five. It doesn't sound that impressive, me telling you the story, but have you ever seen a video of like a dad, and he's got a baby, and he's got a helmet nachos, and he just catches a foul ball like it's nothing. Just palms a heater. That's what she did to me. She caught my high five midair and then shook it over my coworker's head. I actually like that better. Like, a win. Is a crisp 5 enough? I think victory deserves an elevated handshake. Yeah. I call it the loose 5 because you have to catch it, right? Now, it's almost like trying to get planned group event money out of this guy. Great organizer. We talked about this. He would plan these events, but then somebody else pays for it. How did he pay you back? He'd write you a check. Can I sign up for direct deposit? One time he future dated a check, so I just stopped cashing them. I still have them in envelope. He never said anything. Now, I know your wife hooked up these free baseball tickets for today, but that doesn't mean you get a pass. Unless you count the free parking pass she also hooked up. Thank you again, by the way. So as a server who took it personal when I got a bad tip, I wrote this to let you know, when we go out today, if you end up paying for anything and you don't tip well, I'm depositing those checks you wrote. That's right. Someone's getting their money's worth today. You decide who. All right, let's go.
We do this every year, but not last year.
All right, man. You ready?
Drink. Every single time done it, right? Oh, you're sick, boy, Rob.
Brady just fucking chugged it like water.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
No way.
Last one. Pick it up.
Yeah. Here, man.